So, Ben, do you know that every man on this planet has three knees?
3 knees?
Three knees. A left knee, a right knee, and a weenie. I'm Walt Durham, rare coin expert.
And industry veteran Ben Parker.
And we're the coin guys from Texas. And today we're going to be talking about the top coins that we're looking forward to own in the upcoming rare coin bull market. It's no secret, and you know this, that when you see gold and silver prices run, rare coins are shortly behind. They lag a little bit. The bull market for the rare coins comes directly after the bull market in gold and silver prices. So we know it's coming, and we'll kind of give you all the insight of what we're typically looking for and what we think is a pretty good buy right now.
Yeah, I would say some of this is personal things, some for our own collections, a lot for our clients, what they should be on the lookout for. And if you've been paying attention to gold and silver prices, you know the spot price alone's already moved, and that wave's going to have an effect on certified coins without a doubt. We're seeing that already start to happen with some of the areas that we're focused on. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the spot prices today.
Gold and silver prices.
All right, so gold spot price right now is $2,375. It's up $17 on the day, and I feel like a broken record, if you will, because we've said, it's about the same price here the last couple weeks, but we saw it, over 2,400. Now, I don't think it's going to go below 2,300. What do you think?
I think it's possible for it to go below 2,300. I don't see it going sub 2,000.
Oh, I mean, that's...
Yeah,
I feel like that's,
I know that's a huge fall, but I'm talking about in a procedure like a year or so. Like, I don't foresee us pulling back that far. There may be a pullback from, with the election. A lot of crazy stuff happens when you have elections and stuff. So, rate cuts, job reports. So anything can move it back. I definitely think we're going to stay above 2,000. But I would say 2,200 is kind of like short term. I don't see us going into the 2,100s.
That makes sense. And on the topic of rate cuts, real quick, I read something yesterday that said they're forecasting. So you know how good forecasting can be if you know a weatherman. But they're forecasting right now that even as early as September, we could see some federal interest rates cut. Will that happen? Only time will tell. That could have some kind of influence on the spot price, but that's what they're projecting right now. That could change.
All of that stuff has some kind of influence on markets, whether it be stock markets or metal markets, commodity markets. All of that has some kind of effect. But yeah, I think, I really think, just where we're at in the economy, I think gold is showing its true value. It's staying there. It's got a lot of support in the 2,300s. It's getting a little bit of resistance when it gets to like 2,450. Around trying to break the 2,430. That kind of area. It's got a little bit of resistance. So we're kind of in a good spot right now. It's kind of planed out. So you're showing some stability right now.
Absolutely. All right, so silver's up next. If you bought a monster box in February, congratulations. It's still doing really good. Silver right now, spot price is $31.28. Amazing thing is, this is up quite a bit from just yesterday in the 24 hours. We saw silver in the past week. $32 was about average, I would say.
Yeah.
But it's up $1.23 today. So it's on the move. It's really healthy right now. A lot of those people, if you pick a bunch of that up February or back, you should be really happy with yourself right now.
Yeah. And I remember doing a podcast in December of 23 talking about, listen, for years and years and years, silver people will talk about, and dealers, will talk about silver going to $100 an ounce, $500 an ounce, $50 an ounce. And back in December, I said that it was, $21, $22 silver is extremely undervalued. And it's showing to be true. I said, we're going to see, I believe, very quickly $30 to $35 silver. Of course, you have the people out there who say, well, you have to get the 30 to 35 before you ever get the 50, 75, and 100. I get it. I'm just saying, like, you don't want to be as dealers, I mean, they have their own best interests at heart. I mean, that's just everybody, you sitting out there, you have your best interests in heart. And the same thing with dealers. So of course they want to sell the hype. But I think realistically, silver, I think we could see silver in the 40s for too long, especially with gold prices where they're at. Mm-hmm. I would like to see silver in the 40s. I think silver's a buy as long as it's not in the 40s right now. Like I think we're, yes, it's considerably higher than where it was in December and January, but I still think it's undervalued. I still think it's a good buy. Take advantage of the little dips. When we're at $32 and then it goes down to 30, and man, we've had a lot. And the reason I say it's a good buy is because the amount of people buying silver from us when it dips is absolutely astonishing. We have local customers who are calling in and locking down stuff as soon as it dips, and that's the smart play, right? I mean, right. Ben's favorite saying, "When in doubt, zoom out."
Yeah.
And so that's what you need to be doing. As if you're a silver bug, you like silver, go ahead and take advantage of the little dips right there.
Absolutely. And something to keep in mind too is that when you zoom out and you look at the bigger picture, this isn't something that's never happened before. You're not buying it at the peak and going into unknown territory. Silver's been to these levels before. You know that it can go a lot further because the situations that we're in right now are different. Things you could argue are getting worse in terms of, you can't argue really. Inflation's bad. It is getting worse. And a lot of those pressures are going to continue to push silver, in my opinion, even higher. So absolutely a buy. I agree with you. 40, if you've already been picking it up, you don't need to go rush to go get more. You should be just solidifying the same prices that you've already been doing. Yeah. Real quick, we're going to talk about platinum and palladium. Platinum is at 1,016 and palladium's at 964. So those are going to be a little bit lagging behind. We've talked about it before. Those are primarily industrial applications. So aside from that, there's really good platinum coins out there still that there might be, one of yours that we talk about for the upcoming bull market, some platinum coins out there that are still extremely undervalued.
Right. I will say this, that I do think platinum's undervalued. Mm-hmm. I've said it for a while. I think it's a matter of when and not if, but who knows how far the win is down the road.
Right.
That's kind of the thing with platinum. I believe that the younger generation that's coming into coin collecting will appreciate platinum more than what the current market does. Mm-hmm. The current market, let's just be honest, is mainly comprised of baby boomers who, they know gold and silver, right?
Right.
And so that's what leads the way. But our age group coming up when our age group gets to where we have discretionary income to start buying collectible coins and stuff like that, I think you'll see, because we grew up with platinum. Platinum was the pinnacle. It was always, silver, gold, then platinum. Mm-hmm. And so, and plus our generation is a little more stupid. We'll buy cryptocurrency and stuff like that.
I'm sure a lot of people would agree with you.
Yeah. So, there you go. So yeah. I think platinum is a win. How far the win is, my crystal ball is in the shop. I don't know when it'll be out and ready to go. Right. But so that's my idea with platinum. But yeah, still love platinum. But today is the 80th anniversary as of filming today. Today's the 80th anniversary of D-Day. Mm-hmm. Big day. Thank you to all the veterans out there. Every chance we get, we like to thank you guys. My wife's a veteran. I know we got plenty of people here, veterans, family, extended family from here that are veterans. But D-Day coins are coming out. Mm-hmm. So we had a coin that was partially exclusive to us and sold like people giving away beer at a barbecue in Texas.
That's quick.
Very quick.
Yeah.
It really surprised me. It was an Alderney D-Day coin that it sold so fast that we had to pull sales down. Mm-hmm. So everything's gone that we have, and we have an exclusive advertisement coming up strictly for military personnel, and we're saving the rest of our allocation for them, and probably will sell out very quickly.
Oh yeah.
So happy to see that. But there's other D-Day coins coming out through different countries. D-Day was a worldwide effort.
Right.
And it means a lot to a lot of people. Now, when we talk about, that's a truly collectible coin.
Without a doubt.
A coin that may not be, you don't look at to me, I don't look at those coins and say, well, this coin's $150 today. It may be $500 10 years from now. I don't really look at that way. If it has meaning, if it's a cool coin, if it's something that, maybe you can teach a younger generation about D-Day, and we're so far removed from D-Day. I think that's where you kind of go with those cool coins. Cool design on them too.
Absolutely.
All the ones I'm seeing are just have beautiful designs, and today's the 80th anniversary.
Yeah, I would say and especially for silver stackers too, you're going to see quite a bit of rounds that come out that are featuring designs from D-Day. The one coin in particular, I really like the design for this one. Just to describe it real quick, you can see, Ally forces walking down the beach. And I didn't know this, but there's actually a nickname for those large metal structures that they put up on the beachfront to keep them from just rolling straight in. Those are called Czech hedgehogs.
Really?
Yeah, Czech, Czech hedgehogs. It's a nickname for them, and you can see those kind of lining the beachfront, and it's almost like you're in line walking with the soldiers down the front of the beach. It's absolutely beautiful. Of course, it's pure silver and
proof finish.
Oh yeah, it's
only 1944 made, which is obviously
1944, but
and a rare coin.
Yeah,
that's a low
beautiful.
mintage, and that's worldwide distribution right there. That's worldwide mintage, 1944 coins.
So that's something that I would say people need to think about if they're looking at getting a round, like a silver stacker might buy a round, versus a coin itself. I'm going to lean the coin direction just because it has a lot more, in my opinion, going for it, and that's exciting. This one I know was issued from the island of Alderney, so that's right there tied in with the history itself too. So. It's really,
and we talked about, last week, transitioning from silver stacker to silver collector, and that may be one of the things that gets people to, it's finding stuff that's of interest to you. Like we have a guy here who's big on anything military,
absolutely,
veteran, anything like that, and he buys anything that comes to him. And I think if you would describe him, you would describe him as a silver stacker. But you can see the collector come out in him when stuff like that comes out.
Absolutely.
So, and also today is another important day with the United States Mint. Burnished Silver Eagles coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Burnished Silver Eagles been a thing since 2006.
Mm-hmm.
We had a comment on one of our other videos talking about doesn't see the appeal to a Burnished Silver Eagle other than its low mintage, right? From a collectability standpoint. And in a way I can see that. But at the end of the day, I can also see the other side of it, that like every coin, that's the draw to every great coin is the rarity of it. If we were to take the $2.50 Indians, the 1911 D $2.50 Indian, the only thing that differentiates that from the 1911 is that it has a D mint mark and it's a lower minted coin, right?
Yes.
So same thing can be said about a 2006 Silver Eagle. You have a 2006 Silver Eagle and you have a 2006 West Point Burnished Silver Eagle. The only thing differentiating it is a lower mintage and the W mint mark. So that's kind of the draw, and they are highly collectible for people modern silver collectors who like the rarity. There's some much lower mintages than you get with the bullion version, and big market for it.
Oh, absolutely.
So those are coming out today. But so as we talked about, gold and silver have made a good run over the last 6 months. As we enter, middle of June, what are some of the coins that this is what we get asked a lot. What are some of the coins that we are looking for to pick up now that as we enter the bull market that maybe are, I hate to use a word every time, undervalued, but that's kind of what you're doing. I mean, that's what we're doing. We're going to go look to steal value. If we can buy it at X and it'd be worth XX, as the bull market, that as a business, that's how money is made. Buying something when nobody wants it, I'm going to use air quotes because it's not that nobody wants them, but when they're ignored, buying those type of coins, and then when they come to light, having those coins, that is the way businesses like us, rare coin dealers, make money. So I'm gonna let you do the first one. So and look, so here's the rules of engagement.
Establish.
Here's
guidelines.
the rules of engagement.
Yeah. Okay.
So there are no rules. So you can go silver, platinum, gold. You can go modern, pre-33, colonial. It's all up to you.
Okay, mine's going to be kind of like a skeleton key, if you will. It's going to be a one-size-fits-all. It's going to be more of a generalized approach. And I'll word it like this. In every set of coins, in every strike, the 2.5, you have the 1911D, there are really important dates in those coins. Now, it could be a first-year issue. It could be a low-minted coin out of the entire string of dates that they struck. I would say if you have a bit of money and you want to move it from somewhere else and you want to put it into a coin, get one of the key dates out of any series right now. Okay. I have to say that because there's so much potential. And we're not just saying this because we deal in coins. If y'all were here and you could see what happens with the sheer increase in demand for just regular bullion, ultimately that demand is going to kind of pull over to some of the certified market. It's increasing the demand from silver stackers all the way up to the top.
Right. Some percentage goes over.
So I think about coins like the first year issue for the New Orleans $10 gold liberties, 1841. That one's a little tough to find. Absolutely. They started out with an original mintage of 2,500 coins. So there was not already a lot to start with. Now it's estimated between 100 and 200 coins exist in all conditions.
Okay.
So that coin is rare no matter how you look at it.
Right.
It's not
an absolute rarity.
It's an absolute rarity. It's not the most rare coin out of all of the New Orleans $10 pieces struck, but it's a first-year issue. It's becoming increasingly difficult to get as time goes on. That's one that and any other coin that's a key date that has low mintage that's part of a series, whether it's a Morgan, a 2.5, any of that, I have to say that's the coin I'd be looking at right now.
Right. Key dates. I mean, you said it earlier. Like they just when I say it earlier, I think you said it yesterday. You have we just recently got a coin in, and we're not going to talk about it, but
yeah.
It's an O Mint 10, and it's a rare O Mint 10, and it's a high dollar coin. And I've always said, y'all always like when I say that, cheap coins aren't good and good coins aren't cheap. And, that aspect of it is very, very true. But you also see how quick some of the common issues don't, they take longer. But the really rare issues move very quickly because they're not out there. And it takes just this much demand to move a lot of it.
And I say that because a lot of these coins that are key dates, especially the really, really rare ones, every time we see them come around to auction, in some cases, it's $10,000, $20,000 difference. And it's not 15 years. It's 1 year, 2 years, maybe 3. So when you have that much change, and like I said, it's at auction, so there's people bidding on these. It might be a certain one they need for their set. There's going to be demand for it no matter how you look at it. Right.
So, and this is a rookie mistake right here in a lot of so-called dealers that are actually just brokers. Mm-hmm. This is the kind of mistake that they make, especially with O Mint 10s, just because we're so involved in that market. There was an O Mint 10 that was available to 2 dealers, us being one of them. And one dealer was him hawing over the price, but it's one of those dates that just never comes up.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, an AU55 in this year, normally you see it around 12,000. A 58 is, 15,000. This is a 55 plus, and you're asking closer to the 58 money. And that's a rookie mistake.
Yeah.
Because if you're paying attention to OMINT 10s right now, you look at a lot of auctions, the starting bid for some of these key date coins like you're talking about are 50% higher than the last auction. And they're selling for many more bids over that 50% original starting bid of the previous auction high or the most recent auction results. So that's a rookie mistake when coins don't become available. Let me back that up. There are coins out there that when they're available, you just have to grab them if they're within the realm. And him hauling over $1,000 or $2,000 or 10% on some of these coins, you will never buy them. And I think that's a lesson that collectors need to understand. That the good coins, like we've overpaid for good coins before, and more times than many more times than not, we are so glad that we overpaid for it based on all the numbers and data that's been available. Our claim to fame has been, the 1907 20 Saint and MS69 CAC. Okay, that coin was $1 million coin that only had records in the 600,000 area, and we're going to go pay 7 figures for a coin that by all estimates, price guides, last time it ever appeared, you're at $500,000, $600,000. But that coin has not surfaced since we handled it, and probably will not surface for a long time.
And when it does,
that same $600,000 price guide is probably still going to be there because it just doesn't trade hands. So my advice, on top of what you've got on the upcoming bull market, if it's a truly good key date coin, now and I'm not talking about an investment perspective. I'm talking about now the prices you see today, you might kick yourself in the rear end 5 years from now for not buying it at what you thought was a bad price.
I'll tell you this, the biggest regret most of my clients have is that they weren't more aggressive with their purchasing in the past.
Yeah.
Especially now, it doesn't matter if you did buy a monster box in February, you kind of wish you bought 2. You could have always done more, and that's just the way it is.
And look, some dealers are going to sit there and lie to your face and tell you coins never go down in value. Well, that's not true. That's not true at all. But a lot of times, what a good coin is. I'm not saying, there's a big difference between an 1883 O and a 2014 Silver Eagle in 70. There's a huge difference. And there's a big difference in an 83O10 and a 1911D. Yeah. I mean, I can get 5 11Ds in various uncirculated grades probably in this office within a day. You're not doing that in any grade on an 83O.
No.
And so, we've had people, why are you going to pay that for an 83O? Find me another one. You're not. And then all of a sudden they're like, man, looking back at it, that was a steal. Yeah, but you were the guy saying, oh, that's overpaying. That's overpaying. But when you zoom out, you see that you're actually getting a good buy. So my advice is, if you are looking at those key dates, which key date coins, we've done a whole episode on that. Key date coins are great to have. They're probably the best coins to own if you're not just like a true collector in the sense of word, but you like having rare stuff. Key dates are where it's at, and they're probably at their best price point right now for the next couple years, I think.
Yeah. All right, so I got to know.
Okay.
What's yours?
Okay, so one of the areas that I'm looking at and I'm going to let a cat out of a bag here.
Uh-oh.
So
should I be taking notes?
You'll remember this. Guys, I am telling you right now. So we're entering a rare coin bull market. And I know people don't like to talk about, oh, modern coins aren't really rare or collectible. That is BS. They sell, there's a huge market for them. We know this. Everybody knows this. As we sit here, it's June 6, 2024. 2026 is going to be a big year for coins, especially in the modern. We talked about it earlier. 40th year anniversary of the Gold American Eagle program. I know, I want to say I know for a fact. I'm telling you right now, the way collectors think, the way dealers think, the way TV presentations go when it comes to coins, 86 gold eagles are going to I'm trying to figure out how to word this, are going to be a lot more expensive in 2026 than they are today. Okay. I just really believe that in my gut. Whatever gold price does. Okay. When I say expensive, I mean an 86 $10 gold eagle in 70 does not sell for anything around melt value. No. So irregardless of metal content and what the value of the underlying content, an 86 gold eagle in 70 is rare and will sell for many multiples. And I think that price is going to get higher as we get closer to 2026.
I would say that's a bold but fair statement.
And look, I've been a big fan of 86 $25 gold eagles in 70 for a long time. I like that coin. And the reason I'm such a fan of that coin, the $25 piece, I know it's the toughest one for me to get. As somebody who's constantly buying coins, I know that's the tough, and that's always the light bulb that goes off for me. That's the coin that's just almost never there. You know, I can get the 5, I can get the 10, the 50 can be hard, you know, and they're not easy. You know, you're not getting 10 of each.
No, yeah.
But the $25 piece, it's always like, well, I've got nothing. So
would you say this is specifically for mint state 70, proof 70, or does it?
I think, okay. I think that your best bet is the mint state 70. But yes, 80. So the 86 proof gold eagle is the most common of the gold eagle proofs, right? I think prices will be more, our premiums will be more than what we're seeing now in 2026. But I believe you'll feel it more if you're a collector of gold American Eagles and you're trying to put together a good collection. I think you're going to feel it more if you were to wait and buy the mint states in 2026.
Okay.
I think you can get ahead of the ball game, buy your 86 rarer pieces in mint state 70, as they are already extremely popular. So that's what I would say is coming up or a coin that I'm always looking for because of what's coming up.
Absolutely. Now, we did a episode, I can't remember exactly what one it was. It was about the fun show. You took a trip over there, and one of the things that you were looking for was Roman numeral dated proof coins.
Right.
So I would say that's my next one is I would say anything from 86. So just in case y'all don't know, from 1986 to 1991, all of the gold eagles had Roman numeral dates instead of the Arabic numbers that we see today.
Right.
They changed that in 1992. Going forward, it's just our standard numbers. Now, those coins in a proof, the really interesting thing about it is in the mint state coins, they made all 4 denominations, the 5, the 10, the 25, and the 50. In the proof, however, in 86, they only made the $50 piece. And then in 87, they made the 25 and the 50. They said, okay, we're going to make all 4 coins. So from 88 to 91, they made all 4 denominations. That whole string of dates and denominations in a proof, we're already seeing some demand come up for those. It might be also that they increase too in the next couple years because of 2026. But those, we've already seen demand increase for those coins because most people can justify, or at least let me explain it this way, our mindset, why these coins are rare and they should be considered, a rarity and a collectible. Back in 1986, I don't think people really looked at these coins and said, oh, this is special, let me protect it.
Right.
They didn't do it in 87. They didn't really do it in 88. Now, as time goes on, more people started realizing, hey, some of these are important. I'm going to put them away in the safe. I'm not going to touch them. I'm going to leave them alone, try to keep them as pristine as possible. And then in the 2000s, certifying coins, I don't want to say necessarily exploded, but it definitely became more popular.
Correct.
Now, going forward from 2000 on, it's a lot easier to get a mint state 70 or proof 70 certified than it is to get an 86 through 1991.
Correct.
So we know that those coins are considerably more rare than more recent years, and demand is increasing for those. So once that carries over to the bull market, I would say own any. I don't care what denomination. If it has Roman numeral dates and it's proof 70, you got to get it. At least one. You should have one of those in your collection.
Yes. Absolutely. I 100% agree. You should have at least one in your collection. If you're a gold eagle collector, those, you just immediately put that down in front of somebody and they see the Roman numeral dates and they're like, wow, what's that? Because so many people don't even know that exists.
What if they did this? What if they brought back for 2026 Roman numeral dates? Just for 1 year.
I would love it. The only time they've ever brought it back was in 09, the 09 ultra high relief. But for the Gold Eagle program, they haven't. I've said I want to see a Roman numeral privy mark for 40 or Roman numeral date. I think you've got to put something that says this is a special year.
Yeah,
they'll do something, whether it be a reverse proof Gold Eagle, reverse proof 4-coin set. They'll do something. Something's probably in the works because it takes an act of Congress literally to do anything when it comes to the United States Mint. Something's in the works, so I just hope it's really cool.
Yeah.
For the collector and
just don't drop the ball, man.
Yeah,
you've got a really good opportunity here, and
they've been doing very good lately. I like the programs they've been doing. I love that they're doing the Morgan and Peace dollars. That's just a great historic tie. So hats off, Mint. You're doing a pretty good job. I'm not going to be one of the people that gripe at you.
And
There's plenty of people doing that.
If y'all have been paying attention to the Mint, they're sticking their neck out a little bit more here recently. They're just trying different things. They're generating excitement. We're happy with it. If you keep doing what you're doing, of course, there's going to be some coins that come out that I won't talk bad about or anything like that. But
as a collector, you should want the Mint to do this for you too, because the more interest they spur in the hobby, the better it off is for your stuff. Because you don't, let's be honest, stamps have gone to...
I don't know anything about stamps.
They've gone to hell in a handbasket because who collects stamps? There's just no excitement in there anymore. People, I think the younger generation doesn't even know what a stamp is.
I would say that I can imagine there's, stamp collectors out there, they're still there, but...
The market has shrunk.
Yeah, there's not you need younger people to have interest. And I think that's lost on a lot of people now. Stamps are, I can imagine. Like I said, I don't know anything about it, but I would say coins are, without a doubt, growing.
Oh, yeah. I think
just as time goes on.
I think so. So you've been pretty vague.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And no, that's fine because, it is what it is. Your favorite saying, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be a little vague.
Okay.
And we touched on it a little bit. But O-Mint 10s need to be bought now.
Yes.
Sooner rather than later. If you're collecting, for those that don't know, here's the draw to the $10 O-Mints. I was thinking about this the other day. There's not many options available to go buy genuine U.S. coins, gold coins, from a mint that no longer exists that are affordable. Carson Cities are not really affordable anymore. Dahloneg's are not affordable anymore. Charlotte's are not affordable anymore to the average person. What makes O Mint 10 so dangerous, I'm going to say dangerous.
Dangerous.
This is what makes them dangerous. There is a level for everybody. There's a price level for the average collector. There's a price level for a little bit above and a price level for the upper echelon. You can build and collect O Mint 10s in a lot of different price levels, and that's what you need to have a solid collector base. You know, the average, you know, an 030, even some of the type 1s in AU and XF condition are affordable to the average person. Fair?
Yeah.
Okay, a Carson City is probably 2 or 3 times that price. So it gives you an opportunity to own something that is from a mint that no longer exists. Well, the mint building's still there, but that they don't strike coins out of anymore. It gives you the ability to own a coin that, for a multitude of reasons, did not survive well in good conditions. And so it makes the about uncirculateds in the mint state so special. And again, still so affordable. Even if you only wanted one O Mint 10, just to say, hey, I own an O Mint 10, there are several, you know, 18950, 19030 that you can get in the average person can afford in uncirculated condition. And if you can't afford it in uncirculated condition, you can definitely afford it in about uncirculated to AU50 to AU58.
Yeah. And another really, I just got to say this real quick, is that you can't compare New Orleans minted $10 pieces. You can't compare them to Philadelphia. You can't compare them to San Francisco. I know one of the arguments I hear a lot is, well, I can get the same coin for, you know, X price. Why is this one more? It's because once you get past the surface level of information and you do a little bit digging and you find out the mintages and then you find out the survival rate, it's 100% justified. And that's why collectors that take time just to look a little bit past it, and it's work. It is work to do some of that, but you want to look into that just a little bit to understand what we're talking about.
Right. And it's not just that it has the mint mark on it. There's a different look from a 1901S, you know, a San Francisco minted $10 gold eagle looks different than a $10 gold eagle from New Orleans. Just does. But yeah, it is the mint mark.
Yeah.
But it's so full of history, and me and you've walked through the mint. Such a cool place. And when you really think back to the 1890s, when there's no air conditioning and no windows, because you can't have windows where you strike coins, and you start to understand in the hand-me-down machinery from Philadelphia, you start to understand why they were so poorly struck. And when I say poorly struck, just you're not going to find a 68 example.
I mean, there's a lot of years that AU58 is the finest known, and it's $200,000. You know, that's the case. So you're not going to find really nice ones. So I would say earlier you said, you know, you can get it. Some of those you can absolutely get them in a mint state. Some of them, you know, you'd be hard pressed to get them in AU, even if it's just and I say if it's extra fine condition, that's a great coin. You know, it's higher than middle of the road.
Yeah, higher. You know, that's, you know, I say it so many times in there. You guys get so just conditioned to having good stuff that, you know, a lot of times y'all feel like, well, XF is pretty low, but to the average person, I mean, and to the average dealer, you know, a lot of dealers sell. There's a reason why very fine is on the scale, right? A fine and very fine coins, which the details then get to be washed out. An extra fine coin, the detail's still there.
Yeah,
a lot of the detail's still there. But you know, we've had 51Os 10s, which is a, you know, pre-Civil War date, and VF30 that looked very good, and an affordable O Mint 10 that's pre-Civil War. So there's different options out there, and that's what I was talking about. That's what makes O Mint so dangerous. That's what makes them so so good is they got a good collector base. There's the short, we call it the short set from 1888 to 1906. That just your low end collectors they're just barely collectors. A lot of people complete that little 11 coin set. There's not a lot of areas that offer all of this interest and history and rarity and price point. And I don't know how much longer the price point is going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, part of the reason I would say that we don't see higher prices for these is that it's not as popular as Dahlonega or Carson City, but it's moving that direction. I think demand is absolutely increasing, and the supply, in some of these cases, you can go and look at the mintages for these. They're in, the same year, they're more rare than Carson City, but the coin's not trading at that same level currently. All I can say is this: if you've been a collector for a very, very long time and you've been picking up, you aren't really necessarily worried about, rare gold coins that are certified or anything like that, but you've been picking up raw $10 gold liberties or 5 liberties or even 20s, and you've been doing this for a long time, go back to your safe, pull them out, look through. You might want to consider having some of those graded if you see an O-mint. It doesn't matter what the denomination is. I'll put it this way. If, we got a shipment of 200 liberties, doesn't matter the denomination, and we were looking through and you saw an O-mint, you would pull it out. It would not be in that group.
And just so you know, there's probably people out there who are going to say, well, O-mint 10s are already certified. You're not going to have them not certified. I beg to differ. We do get coins that come in here. They're, people who bought rolls of $10 liberties back in the day, and we see O-mints and we get them certified. And that's where some of the O-mint, they're fresh to market O-mint 10s. So you absolutely, if you're on the younger side of things, if your father or grandfather was buying rolls of $10 liberties, there's a chance, because even up until last month, we were offered a roll of $10 liberties from a retail individual that there were O-mints in there, and just selling them as AU $10 liberties. So absolutely possible. Definitely get those O-mints certified. Any better date coin needs to be certified at this point. There's no excuse for it. Whether you're going to sell it or you're going to keep it or your heirs are going to sell it, it's just save yourself a lot of headache and a lot of arguing, and go get it certified. So I'm going to end on this note.
Okay.
I'm going to say, with gold prices running up, historic pre-33 gold coins, what we call generics, $20 Saints in 2, 3, and 4, and 5, $5 Liberties, those two, and $5 Liberties 3, 4, and 5. Those two areas, you can go steal some value right now, because they are trading really close to their melt value. They are comparable in price to when gold was $1,500, but yet gold is $2,350. Not going to go to a whole lot of detail. There's not a whole lot of detail to go into there, but that area, I think they won't stay there for long. I think $5 liberties, certified $5 liberties, generics, even better dates, those that are trading really close to their melt value, 63, 64, 20 Saint premiums have gone away.
Yeah.
I think it's a good time to buy those areas if you're a collector in those.
I would say this too, just to give everyone an idea of what exactly that means, is that the retail price has been set here and the spot price is doing this. It's moving up.
Yeah, the melt value is moving up.
But that price has still been the same. Now, this gets high enough, the spot price gets high enough, this will be forced to move.
Right.
It's going to happen eventually. But right now, this is the tightest. That's the word I'll use.
As people get comfortable with gold moving up, since we're doing hand visuals here.
Yeah.
As people get used to gold moving up, and this stabilizes here instead of here, then people are used to this, and then
that's going to start moving.
These start moving again, and it's like a slinky.
That gap is the smallest I think I've ever seen it in my career.
Right. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
So that's a sneaky little fact that you get only from the coin guys from Texas.
There you go.
Well, I think that's all we have. Do you have anything?
That's it.
If you're going to buy coins, buy good coins.
Absolutely.
Till next time, guys.